Parshas Axre Kiddushim. Our Chaim HaKadosh speaks about it. He says, what's going on here? Eretz Mitzrayim and Eretz Canaan, the worst places, the lowest filth in the world. That's where we have to do. Now he says an interessante Zach. He says that some people do not have such a hard time with their taivas because they never fell in. But those who did fall in, they got a constant struggle. Now he says like this: somebody who's living in an environment that's full of this stuff, he's in there without trying. It rubs off. The mele, he's a bechina of about tshuva. He's always about tshuva because he always has to work on himself in this sugya. So now we understand, and he says, so now you wonder, Ramatasho, I heard Bishmai said that America is worse than Tumas Mitzrayim. So why does he have Rachmanis? I know a lot of yeshiva guys complain. What do you want from us? That's exactly the point. Now you're a bechina of about tshuva because it's a struggle, this whole business. And I'm a kind of boy, how's it harder? Don't look for trouble. If you're not struggling, just forget about it. Don't listen to this stuff. But if you are struggling, then it's a gold mine because you have to view it as pink faket. Even though you're going to be falling, it's worth it because the schus of being about tshuva. Even though you fall and you go, Shabbat Yibol Tzadik become a hidra of Radnem Azatzal. He said that's the derech of a tzaddik. He's always falling and he comes back. That's the way it works. And when you realize it's been a shemayim to dafka be like this, it makes it much, much easier. You realize that's the Eibush that wants that. He wants that. He knows that you're going to get hu ki hu yoda yitzreinu. He knows us. He knows, and he wants it like that. That's the way he made the world. There's nisyanis in every second of your life. Every move you make. Now I want to tell you, they say about Reb Gershon Lieberman, when he went to the street, went to the doctor's office, he was loaded with it. He said, every move is an assignment. Here you got to watch your eyes. Here you got to wait. It's sablonis. The doctor's not coming out. Now you have to stop turning that doctor into a god. That's another assignment. Now you have to learn to have mind. Another person over there, there's a mice with the Alta from Slobodka. He was once in a dentist's office in his waiting room, and the guy that was on the chair was screaming. It was Ashayitz. He was screaming from pain. The Alta from Slobodka got up. He was shaking, and he said, "Shir whatever." He started davening. That's a human being. He has to learn, have to have feelings for every person. The Alderman Slobodka, when he saw there was a new coffee house in the Lithuanian city over there, Crossroads, whatever, he was so happy. Now people can have a coffee. They learn. There's so much growth going on. Every move you make. And Reb Gershon said that you have Shviras Hamidus on every tzad v'shal. They told me about Reb Gershon. He's constantly thinking of one of two things. How could I be mezaka the Rabim, and how could I break my midas? Now, you have to wait for the bus. This bus is, you're trying to get to school. You're going to red light. Here we go. This big, heavy bus. There's another one another one for Finalizing. So people get annoyed. There's a lot of annoyances in their lives, but if they have a burning issue of breaking midas and they're sitting in a vad once a week, I do want to bring the vardik back, and I'll tell you why it's so important. You go to a vad, and they talk about sabalonis, patience. Do you know that there's certain diseases that are traced to lack of patience? There's a lot of unfortunately. I once read a book. I saw that not from a Yiddish source. I read this report that every single malady can be traced to a certain problem in Midas. This type of guy, this type of nervous wreck gets this. This type of lazy guy gets that. This type of jealous type gets this. This guy in a shalom bias issue, they all tend to get this. You imagine? This is a goyish zach. Now I heard this from Reb Chaim Halpern. He was so miskrank for Midas Reis. That's where you're sick when of course, when you see next time, don't start knocking the whole world. Whoever's sick, everyone's sick somewhere. So abyssal hein, abyssal aheh. So you don't knock them. Chas v'sholom yidan on the kavschus. But for yourself, and if chas v'sholom you get sick, you don't start telling yourself, oh, that's because I had this bad need. Don't you dare do that. Never. It's not for us. What you say is, the Eibishter is giving me a test in Bטחון. That's the real Novantic approach. Or say, because I'm the tzaddik of Gans, New York, the Eibishter is giving me these Yisurim to be mechaper in Gans, New York. I once heard such a zach, B'Shem and Adam Gadol. This woman was in a car and the car turned over. She thought to her, yeah, that's a sign, I'm no good, I'm this. And the Gadol told her just the opposite. It's a sign that you are the biggest tzaddikis, v'chulu v'chulu. That's the way to go these days. You want to go get depressed? Go enjoy yourself. You can't do that today. Anyway, but when you are living a life where it's a burning issue in your life is to break your midas, that's on your head all day. How do I conquer my impatience, which is openly unhealthy for a person's body? Impatience is not healthy. Now, how do I conquer it? Now, if you have impatience, don't listen to me. You're impatient, so what? I'll live till 120 with my impatience. Don't bother me, Mendel. But this stuff, you're telling me now this, and I really mean everything I'm saying, even though I'm speaking on two sides of my mouth. I mean both. The guy that wants to work on impatience, this will give him a motivation to realize it's simply not healthy. The guy that's not masugel to work on it, blows up. You'll live till 120 with, I'll show you plenty of stories of people that did everything wrong. There was a guy, Shagitz, a Jewish Shagitz, was a famous guy and he used to smoke like a chimney. He did every kol dover asa in the world. He did it. Every vice. He did everything the doctor's screaming about. Gefrest cholesterol as much as he wanted. He did everything, all these galach. Salt, that's great stuff. Salt, the sugar, sure, let's have some more. The guy lived till 100. How did that happen? Laughter is the best medicine. Learn it. I'm not telling you to do what he did. I don't know how much Elam Hobby he's going to get to face this. He wasn't from, but Alpha became. He packed the world. That's a big thing. You should know that a Ganav has to pay kefil, and a Goslin doesn't have to pay kefil. Now, who would you say is worse? I would say the Goslin's much worse. This man's such a brazen, he's such an azus ponim. He comes out in the open and he pulls out a gun. I don't know if a Goslin's not, whatever. He comes out openly and he's not embarrassed. A Ganav at least has some busha. The Bible that a Ganav pays double and the Goslin doesn't. So Rashi, because the Goslin is not afraid, not of Hashem, and not of people. And the Ganav is afraid of people, but the Eibishter doesn't bother him. So the Ganav is worse. Unbelievable. Either way, I wanted to bring out a Yesod. Even though the Goslin is a nobody, but not being afraid of people is a big mila. Not being afraid of people is a tremendous mila. Not to... So a person could live till 100, even though this fellow is not from a yid. But sometimes you got a mila, in that you're not afraid of the whole. Cherdas Adam Yitei Moike, Shlomo Melech said. I tell people, just don't be afraid. But do I have bטחון? Do I not bטחון? Forget about bטחון. Just don't be afraid. That's already tremendous. Cherdas, because it's a metzias in the universe. Cherdas Adam Yitei Moike. Fear brings problems. Don't be afraid. Try not to. Again, I say all the time, just try not to. If you made it, you didn't make it, you have to try. That's the ikka. You try not to be afraid. That's all the Yevishta wants. Now I'm going to tell you a story about Jose. Jose used to work in YTT. Jose was Ashegitz from Honduras. Now there's a svara that there must have been some Jewish blood in Jose. He was such a sweet fellow. I don't know. But Jose was a Shegitz, and he was always cheerful and happy. He says, I love God, and he used to light up. No, they are good. Anyway, what happened to Jose? To say we had two people working for us, both heavy drinkers, and one of them is gone thanks to his drinking, and he killed his liver. And the other one, Jose, says, Jose, how'd you get out of it? Jose says, I was once walking in the street and I says, God, I can't. This addiction, it's too much. I can't deal with it, God. You got to help me out. The next day, Jose's walking in the street and somebody from a friend of his says, hey, Jose, come with me. I'm going to Alcoholics Anonymous, one of these things that, and the rest is history. Jose was cured. But Jose, and he says, did I say right? You sound like, it's a Metzias and a Bria. Run to the Yevish. You get, if Hashem could help Jose, you can use the same thing. I do know a younger man who had Kedusha problems, and he told me he had very big Kedusha problems until one day he said the right thing. He said, Eibishter, it says in Chazal, Amalei Kadosh Baruch Hu Oizrei, Lo Yachaloi. As soon as he said that, boom, Eibishter did the job. And he disappeared, the whole problem. Because he said that sometimes you gotta know what to say. Like, on my favorite story, when I told the Eibishter, showed him who I am, it worked like magic. These chassidim that I felt were mavatal me a little bit, all the other guys seemed to like me, and these guys, so I finally got a call from that group, which I wasn't getting. I got a call, and he had an issue till Mashiach. He had 5 different people suffering, getting him, serious stuff, professional, and I said, and as soon as he got on the phone, I said, you're going to have a total Yeshua. I got off the phone, and I says, Eibishter, show them who I am. And they all had Yeshua. Says, the next day, it was a new matzah. And they followed up 2 weeks later, even better. It's not Shayach. The guy tells me, you saved my life. You saved me thousands of dollars to the therapist. And Zachan, his Rebbe told him to see the therapist. You know what I meant going to the therapist? Therapists. You're dealing with 5 cases, and each one had a different twist. And each one, the therapist lives an hour away. How you gonna, the guy was a bundle of nerves. The whole matzah was shrekla. The Rebbe told him, you have no choice. You have to take care of it. So they decided, I didn't go against the Rebbe. All I did was, I decided, when you get a different siyata d'shmaya, if you decide you're not from the normal people, you decide you're from the Bali B'tachon people, then you get a different siyata d'shmaya. Rabbi saying, you're walking in the street, and there's a school bus. A bunch of meidalach are getting on the school bus. I remember I was the last person to speak on learning the Alta Pupa roof. I spoke on learning with him. I remember him telling me, I used to be a camp director in Camp Beis Yaakov, way back. And the right next door was the Pupa camp, and I was quite lonely in Camp Beis Yaakov. I used to gamba at the Pupa camp as much as possible to be among the men. The kids, and I loved the roof, and I chopped a lot of shmuzim with him. He was just unbelievable. The Alta Pupa roof. He was probably the biggest personality in Gans, Williamsburg. Those days, he was the number one. Taira Yida, Tzadik, Goin, everything. So I had a lot of talks with him. One of the things I spoke to him about was about Musa. I asked him, what do you Hasidim do about Musa Bespilus? You're supposed to do it with an ignorant, or else it doesn't go in. So he says, I appreciate the problem. I have the same. So what we do is we learn Musa at night before you go to sleep. That way it'll go in. I remember him telling me that. Anyway, I remember he was nifta it was Friday afternoon. I was chapping a shmooze with him. I had a whole bunch. I had shilos to ask him an halacha with sneakers, and about if there's some leather. I had different shilos I had with him. I remember walking together with him, and there was a girl that looked not a day older than 2.5, and she was standing over there, and he went like this, He said, and I remember that, and I remember they called me over right afterwards. He got sick. He was out till over Shabbos, 2 days after. Within 2-3 days, he was nifta. And I remember they came over to me to tell me that I was the last one to speak and learning with him. It's a big schluss. But I'll mention something over here. Now, there's a bus, and there's a whole bunch of meidalach, big ones, little ones, standing by the bus. And if a yid goes ahead and he turns around a drop, now you should know there's a special, big Indian brought down as far as Kdoshin. If you turn your way all the way around, boy, you're from the big, it's a bezunder amal yusa to do that. But whatever you do, the guy turns around. For a minute, he doesn't look. So a person like this is going to be zoich. He has no idea. He didn't see how many girls are there. He's going to find out in Yenevelt. There were 20 girls there. 20 malachim! He didn't look. 20 malachim. You walk in a street. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rasa HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zakas es Yisrael. You walk, those people are careful. They walk down one block, 100 mitzvahs. They're all over the place. You walk another block, another 150, I don't know how many. You'll find out there's so many mitzvahs for every inch, for every movement you make. And what happens if you're one of those guys that you fall, whatever. You're not in the habit. Well, you don't have the nerves for it. Some people don't have. Reb Gershon told me this. He said when I was on the plane, he says he used to address these things. He used to talk, even though Novandik and Litvak's Bachal don't talk about these things. But Reb Gershon, when it came from a trip, he said, the movies, right? He told me right there. He says, it's a big Nisayan. You know what he told me? The Nisayan is covered. Everyone's watching him. I'm not. Everything by them is covered. A steak. What's wrong with beans? Doesn't pass. Taste, that's not the main issue. They all hold everything's covered. That's the verdict. Anyway, then he told me once, it must be very hard to stay in one place looking down for so many hours. You keep watching your eyes. It's not easy. Anyway, some people, it's taka, you need nerves for this stuff. So a person should know that, now let's say a guy, he can't do it. Or it's not happening. He's not holding by that. I've seen. I don't want to talk too much. I've seen all kinds of tzaddikim, and they're on huggers and these things. Everybody's different. Everybody has his own. I've seen big people that I admire. I don't know if I would do what they used to do. I'm not. Everybody's different. But what if a guy taka, he falls into this stuff and whatever, and then one day he hears a shmooze from Mandel or whoever it is, and no more of this stuff. All that is, this guy has a history. I met someone came right here. He came from somewhere in New York to tell me he has a history and this garbage until one day I decided I'm putting my foot down. No more of this. Now you don't have someone like that. All his averis. Now you should know your averis are makatrig on you. They're gonna say not nice things about you. They're live malachim. When you do tshuva, all those black malachim that you created with your sins are going to turn pure white. And they're going to be your best friends. Because that's what happens. This from that's what happens. B'malkim shabali tshuva in the main tzaddikim. B'al tshuva, the averis turn into mitzvahs. It's meridik. Alta from Novandik says the best business in the world is tshuva. All the kas, you stop getting in kas. Finally toned down in his old age. He used to scream 10 times a day. Now it's only 6.5. Just joking. But you're not getting kas. You stop getting jealous of so-and-so. You're working on your meters for a change. Anyway, so all those averis turn into mitzvahs. And let's say you fall again. So, Sheva Yipel Tzaddik B'Kam. As long as that's called a tzaddik, from Rotnema. A tzaddik is the one. He falls, but he keeps going. I want to tell you something. Taking off your glasses. I'm going to tell you something. I was told that Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, a friend of mine, saw him walking in Meir Shiurim with his glasses off. And he was looking at the wall, away from the street, and he was a pachad in his face that he shouldn't. Now, I personally saw Reb Shapsi Levitch walking in Borough Park with his glasses off. Now I want to tell you my horror. When being a good Novandiga, I have a total different agenda. My agenda is I need a prat. I need a good prat. So, you want a prat that the people let them talk? Take off your glasses and hold them in your hand and walk. There might be nobody there. And you're turning, that was just the yeshiva guy you avoided. Oh, that was just the Rosh Yeshiva that you didn't look at. That was just Machzach Meshega. You go like that. And what are they going to say? This guy's a frummy. Look, he's real frum. That's exactly what I want them to say. You know, it's chusim you get if they call you a frummy, and you're doing it l'shem shemayim. You'll mavazi yourself a covered shemayim. It's worth it. Even when you don't have a problem with me saying that. Just take it off. Let them call you a frummy, and you'll get such schar. Take it or hold it in your hands. So everybody will chop that normally this is the matzah, but because I'm walking in the street, I'm a real frum guy. Don't start at Snei Alechas, Prava, Mises, Snei Alechas, Snei Alechas. Don't look at Snei Alechas, Snei Alechas. Be like everyone else. Walk in the street. It's not so posh over here. You walk in these streets. What? That's also true. So let's hope that they recognize me. Anyway, but it's a schus godlan lo shemayim because Chaim speaks a lot about getting bezyanis to do mitzvahs. I feel he says it's kedai to be a sheita kol yomov. Let them call me a fool all my life, but I shouldn't be a rasha. Afilu shah achas of their makom. Chaim is very big into this. Go be mavazi yourself. He was into that a lot. Anyway, so I once recently decided that I should take it off more. Push it off the pracha boy. Take off the glasses. Don't call me a frummy. Just what I like. A frummy. He's a little funny. Oh, good, great. And your opinion is very valuable. You hold them funny. It's very important to me that you don't think I'm so great. That's exactly what I like. I want people to say these type of things. I need everybody to be masking that I'm the perfect. I'm a little not so great. Don't ask what I saw Novandigas do to show me that I saw one of them blow up. He never got in kas he did it special for me. That's how I felt. He made like, And then he was looking at me, hopefully I should see him getting in kas. So you see, I'm just a regular yuckle like everyone else. I get in kas. That's what it looked like to be. I once saw Rav Weinkrantz, that's all, eating ice cream at a Sheva Brachas. I remember it was strawberry flavored ices. I remember, if I'm not mistaken. And he was sitting there at the dais, of course. They serve ice cream. Oh, this is Novandic country. Ices, kip to hair, bling, the ices. And he took the ices. I saw him. He sat there for a half an hour eating. He made about this much at a time. As he was eating, he was looking to make sure everyone should see him. I said, ice cream? I eat ice cream, by the way. Motolach. He ate ice cream. He once invited me to a chasana. He was going to a gera. The geras, they make small chasanas. I was taking a walk with him in Borough Park, and he went into a chasana. He was related. I said, Kim, come in. And I sat down next to him, and they're serving soup. And he says, go eat. He didn't get involved in Sameach Chosin, Zechvaraya. He wasn't into that. Go eat. It was certain, I saw the Novandiga, like, the Novandiga has a certain, don't be as stressed. And I remember him taking a double. See, he ate a soup. Can I have double, please? That's a real Novandiga pride. Take a double. Anything wrong? Did I kill anybody? No, doesn't look right. Well, take a double. Can I have? Anyway, so he did some other things I'm not going to say in public. Don't ask what these Leviticus could do. Oh boy. They're happy, go-lucky people with that pratim. They laugh at the world. Let's get some more pratim. We have to be mispalel to get the right pratim. Anyway, by the way, I plan to speak this Tuesday at 8:15 in Beis Yosef Novandik in 49th Street. I plan to speak. I want all my dollars on Vista. I plan to speak like I did a week ago. The last Tuesday I spoke. It was a Blian Hara packed house, mainly Chassidim. The first thing I did was I saw the Chassidim. The Chassidim is right away. I got some schnapps. Rabbi said, I have Hasidic roots. I drink l'chaim. I would have done that. Even if there were no Chassidim, I would have done it. But if they're there, it's even better. Anyway, I drank, and then I said, Novandik they're close to Chassidus. And I was telling you, Rav Nekritz's son is sitting over there. And he says, right? And he smiled. Yeah. Novaddik's not far. I heard this from Rav Pasternak. Not so far from Chassidus, Novadik. Anyway. So I plan to speak everything. Now, I walked in at 49th Street between 14th and 15th. Ask anybody, where's the Bardik? Follow the crowd. Now, you'll see signs. It says Tzaddik Bala ear. That's me. I'm still upset with the, I hope Odia doesn't hear what I'm going to say now. I'm just kidding. But with the guy who put out signs about me, Hagoyna Tzaddik, he wrote, he left out Butsinya Kadisha. I'm still traumatized. Ask my wife how I didn't sleep all night because of that. Why'd you leave out Butsinya Kadisha? I'm a great guy. I'm not pushing. Anyway, so what am I talking about? So we're hoping that Novandik will stay in 49th Street. They're talking about 15 years ago, they were sold to someone else until Yidel Mendel got up and said, La Adam. And don't ask me how, but suddenly the sign was off, and a few weeks later, back in business. And I didn't speak to nobody. I just paskined right here. We're staying. And Rabbi Shlomo he said, it's staying, and it stayed 15 years. And now the place is mamish. The walls are permeated. You'll feel the kedusha. That's not some place. You know who davened there? It's like the Arizal's minion. The Arizal was the Makubal there. The Al Shachar Kodesh was a darshan. Beis Yosef was the paisik. The Chodedi was the chazan. I mean, the minion that they had in the Vardik. Do you know how many well-known Baalei Ruach HaKodesh davened there? I'll tell you who they were. Everybody knows. I don't want to get dreams from them. They're going to let me have it for being Megaladim. But one of them was known to have had Gilul. Maya was made on someone else. And he was, these people were murdered, they can mention. All of them. That, we want Novandik to stay there. I'm planning to give Adam over there. So Eibishter is in charge of the world. Hopefully, now, so I walked recently. I took off my glasses. I went into this big supermarket. I come in, I had to buy nash for my class. And I got to get my nash. So I walked in like this. I started looking for the nash. I don't know if I'm coming or going. And where's the nash? Any nash around here? It's not so easy to make a product. You see any nash? What kind of nash is this? What's the price? So the Eibishter rewarded me. Today, this Yid comes right over to me on the spot. Like I didn't have to wait. You're looking for something? Come here, I'm going to help you. He took a thing like this, and I didn't have anything in my hands. He gave me everything I wanted. I didn't have to do a thing. So Eibishter helps him. Anyway, so I've had lately Bטחון stories not shayach. First of all, I just want you to remember, when you learn Musa, as long as you're learning Musa, his wife, and Shreklach, middle of Yom Tov, my husband's Kamat, Shem Yirachim, serious stuff. And I says, we're going to take good care of him. Right after Yom Tov, I put him to work. And Zakis is a Rabim. He's never had a recurrence. It's already months and months and months gone, the whole issue. A person's oisik and Zakis is a Rabim, say goodbye to your issues. It's healthy, push it in Teva. It's a healthy thing to be oisik. It makes you feel good about yourself. When you're collecting money for tzedakah, I believe a velt in that. Tzedakah, Eretz Yisrael, people need. Bטחון weekly is available. If anybody wants to collect, I'll be more than happy to accept. But someone just gave me 3. I was about to give up this week. It wasn't push it. I opened. They're calling me from both sides. I got to get. So first, I want to keep a record of who are the kodelim, who are the members. How I want to get together once a year at least. All my kodelim get together in Baltimore. I have about 100 people. There were 70 people who registered with Benjamin Belsky, besides at least a few more kodelim. And then in Lakewood I have, in Muncie I have, and I want them, at least the Lakewood items should get together once a year and exchange notes. We're learning every day 15 minutes, Bטחון. Let's get together. We want to bring the Vardik back. How is it going with you? With you, these things are very important. I need people to organize that. I need people to have a record. I have a lot of people who are writing. One guy wrote on Kiddushim, beautiful stuff. Another guy wrote on Kinna, beautiful stuff. Another guy wrote on Ayin Tova. Another guy wrote on Bezyanis. Another guy wrote Lumdis Weekly. He made a sefer out of it already. Lumdis Weekly. And the short shtickle, beautiful stuff. All this stuff. Another guy wrote Stam on the Parsha. All my chevra. I encourage them. All the Elam here. I encourage you. Everybody. There's room for everybody. You have to feel mine is the best. Don't look at yourself like a number. Write stuff. I need somebody to get that stuff organized. Then I need something else. I need Miat Hashem. I used to get asifas together. Sosalanta's yard site. We have a place here in Lakewood. Rabbi Goldblatt's Angezunt, he's a Talmud of mine. He loves it when I come there. It's all hours. We have a big place, 613 Madison Avenue. Lately, we haven't been doing it. The Alta's yard site, Sosalanta's yard site. There's times that we can get together. And if anybody wants to be in charge of getting that together, I wouldn't mind if we found out who's who. We want to make memberships. We want to make, you're part of the Vardik. We'll give you a stempel over here. We're going to get pins for the Vardikas. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. But we want to get you registered, you're part of our Olam. Or you're going to get special Siyata D'Shmaya. The Rebbe is going to give special brachas. Now I'm going to tell you something. It's not pashut. Last night, after Havdalah, I took the telephone and I counted 10 phone calls with Yeshuas. One after another. Serious stuff that I myself didn't believe. Serious. From Yana Machla, with heart Rahman, with worst, with disgusting types of diseases. Suddenly, everything's fine. I gave brachas. Every one of them worked. Mental stuff. Oh boy. All kinds of people, anxiety problems. Suddenly, they felt better. I gave all 10 brachas. They all worked. And the Eibishter helps. The Eibishter, because I keep saying that I hold from my brachas. Never do I put myself down. Never. I'll never admit I'm batting 1,000. Beshita. Never, says Rabbi Miller, verbalize a negative emotion, especially about yourself. I'm not so good. Don't say that. It goes too easy. That's a proof that it's not the truth. Don't never say I'm not so good. No! He hates horrors on your case. They're slapping it down. You know, the Welt says, you want to avoid criticism? Say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. You'll avoid criticism. Us Novandikas don't mind criticism. Reb Gershom once told me, I says, how much should I work on these pratim to go against, He says, it depends how much you want to spend your life in jail. People are in jail their whole lives. I take a lot of risks. I do things that I say, what are you doing? The jailer might not like that, Think I'm not human? I jump in, I don't care. So you criticize me, that's fine. Do you know how much People get criticized. You know, Gedolim, how much criticism they get, you don't know. All those people that you envy. I heard, I was up close with one of the biggest Rashivas in the world, a world figure. One said bitterly, everybody wants to be in my shoes. I'm a Mashulach. He was very tzabrochen about it, not saying his name. There's another. People, it's not so simple. And everybody's busy with the envy. This guy, he made it. He made it into the Yated. He made it into the Modia. He made it into the Ami. Made it. It's good. By the way, I'm not going to put myself down for that one. No way. I say, Itaka made it. I feel very good. I'm very thankful. I want to thank my dear in front of everybody, especially the guy who wrote it. He was Gavaldik. We did a beautiful job. He types me up. He did a great job. Very proud. And I was looking at my picture about 5 hours straight, enjoying my smile. I didn't know I know how to smile. I'm not so good at that. But can you find the picture with this guy smiling? So they finally got one. My Manile, I want to thank him, the assistant Manile of YTT. They took a picture of me with my class over there. It's a great picture. I'm very happy about all the cover that I got. And I want to thank the Eibishter. By the way, I want to thank Nadia, but it's the Eibishter wants to give me a boost. I think it's good news. And I'm expecting thousands of dollars, millions to come in. Everyone's going to see it. That's what I want. Talk about it, see it, and open your pockets. You know, Rabbi Miller says, advises parents and in-laws. Close your mouth and open your purse. So that's what I say. To all those readers, you want to tell the whole world how great I am? I have a better idea. Close your mouth and open your purse. I'm just kidding. You're allowed to say nice things about me. I don't mind. Why not? Make a Kiddush Hashem. And I don't mind the covet too much either. I'm going to say it. I mind? I don't mind. We'll live with it. What? When you get covered, you say thank you. When the other guy gets covered, and you feel like, look at him, look at me, you say, that guy never needs covered. The Eibishter gives him. I got a Blat Gemara, I got a Taisis, I got some Yeshudim that he doesn't have. The Eibishter trusts me more than him. Every person has to come out ahead. So if I'm not going to put myself down when I'm getting covered, see, because I'm a great person. That's for sure. Now it's clear. If anybody had any doubts about my greatness, Modia just made it official. The only thing is, I still would not have minded Butzina Kadisha. I'm joking. They really did a great job. Merdek spoke about my father and my mother. Beautiful stuff. My father's have a listening Ganeden, my mother. Give them credit for everything. Now, there's I was speaking about Gedolei Yisrael. I want you to know, be very careful not to be Klein Keppel. It's a lifetime job. Don't be Klein Keppel. Be broad-minded. Now, think big. People, you are what you think. The more you think big, watch what happens. If you start thinking, you made a party, right? And one guy wasn't happy. He made a Sheva Brachas. And some guy didn't get the bracha he wanted, and that's all you're going to talk about for the next 10 years. You made a successful Sheva Brachas. What are you draining a cup? No, but better machaveri. You're only human. So you made a mistake. It's impossible not to, but that's all messed up. My wife is worried that she wore the wrong dress. She didn't, I made that up. But I'm saying people get into tzimtzum. They you know what I mean? It's no good. You get it. You sat and learned the Yishmak Seder for 4 hours. But this other guy was screaming louder than you, and he's getting more covered, so you're dead. You're dead. You know, Haman was very narrow. He said, Coals I said in a shavali. One person doesn't bow down to me, it's over. What are you doing? The whole world's bowing down to you. And Kavel, enjoy. Enjoy the covet. Haman didn't know how to enjoy covet. I would teach him. I'm enjoying it. Look at what we got. Rabbi Miller told this to a friend of mine. who was getting a job with a lot of covet, and he was concerned, too much covet. So Rabbi Miller said, and what's wrong if you get covet? But it's covet, it's covet. Enjoy it! Rabbi Miller, enjoy, you get some covet, enjoy it. So I enjoyed it. What? It's not for you. The guy who didn't get covet, he's supposed to go around saying, oh, covet nebuch, he needs it. I once had this with somebody I'm very close to. And he was big, they're all running after him. And they felt a little bit, and he noticed it. And he says, listen, I get the stuff because Hashem knows I never need it. You don't need this garbage, you know. That's what he told me. And I took it. I liked it. It was a good one, you know. You need the covet. You need he's getting covered. The whole world goes with sugar. This guy's getting covered. He made it. Woo! Enjoying a vodka. What's just that covered? I have my vodka. Leave me alone with this covered business. I think Nachab is excellent stuff. This is taka good. Platinum vodka. What is this? What is this? Is this stuff? It's great. Oh, it's not the platinum. It's this. It's excellent. Bring me some more. My brother brought me that when I spoke in Borough Park for the Chassidim. That's good. That's enough. L'chaim! When you make l'chaim on extra good vodka, the Yeshuas are coming all over the place. And whoever listens to me, I want him by a year from today, everybody here must be a Baal Meifus like me. I'm not one of those Rebbes. You know, I want them all to be, I want you all to be, you'll get there, you'll see, I'll help you out. So I want all, I'm lonely. I'm a lonely Rebbe, a lot of Chassidim. I want more Rebbes. I want competition. What is competition? What's competition? We're all together. We're all here for the Eibishter. Yep. Anyway, if you feel like you have competition, then you make believe you're not. That's the essay. Always make believe. Reb Gershon used to praise a certain other Yid. Zat Taida Yid. Later I found out there was a competition situation. So whenever I met Reb Gershon used to praise that person. Now I was talking before. So anybody wants to step forward to help me out. We're looking for this goofa, I'm looking for new jobs. What can we do to get in life? Doing it makes, I have a lot of the guys who down by me. Don't ask to have someone who's a Rosh Kollel. He's a Rosh Kollel, and he's against a Shadchan, and he's against a Gabbai, and he's against a easy guy, and he writes stuff. I try to get, move, do. Reb Nosson said, what's mehr? Do for the klal. I'll help you. I'll want to give out some B'tachon weeklies, whatever. A lot of people have big siyata shmaya. People give out my B'tachon weeklies, don't ask. I was on the Geholfen to mention. Anyway, I want to thanking the Eibishter. There's a big Yisrael Sefer Ikrim says, if you want to get something fast, thank the Eibishter all the time. And things move. But some say you gotta be with your whole heart. So, alright, but it's okay. Nowadays, keep thanking and thanking for little things. I thank for vodka. I thank for the colors of tomatoes. I'm not so, every little thing. I like this pen. Say, Eibishter, thanks for the pen. I like the way it writes. Very geschmack. Wow. It doesn't skip for a change. I make a spiel out of everything. Like the new telephone. I try to vocalize a lot of. What I thank for 24/7 is my heart, my lungs, the back. I'm not out on my back like I once was in Shaykadach. And I'm moving, the hands are moving, the feet are moving. And I could walk and I can come and have a normal, healthy appetite. Instead of kvetching about the diet. How's my base doing? Oh, too much? Did I eat too much? No. I'm busy thanking Hashem that I have a normal, healthy appetite. I've had experiences where I couldn't eat. People are sick, they can't eat. Well, Hashem, thank you for the appetite. Thank you for the tongue and for the ability to talk. And thank you that I'm married. Now, I want to tell you something about ladies. Shlomo Melech said, My father, Zecher Tzaddik Levrach, should be a big schus for him. He used to sing so beautifully. He was a real Ish HaRuach. I owe my father, not Shayach. He's a Talmud of Shaga Five Mendelovich. And he had that Tervadas. You can picture it, it's plenty of capitulates. He was Hasidish. He didn't have a Shtreimel, but he was Hasidish. He loved Jews. He used to hug everybody. He used to kiss everybody. And he was full of Simcha and Chiyas. My father, Ahmed, Eina Roya Pnei Gehenim, thanks to my mother. You know why? My mother was a Yeki, and my father was a Galiciana. And my father used to make jokes 24/7. My mother never hopped one joke. I don't know how my father lived with that. I'm joking. But then it's true that she never hopped. My brother told me once, no, you got it wrong, Yidel. 3 o'clock in the morning, she suddenly jumped out of bed and started laughing. She finally got it. But anyway, so when is it my father, when he used to sing Eshes Chayil, first of all, his relationship with my mother, it looked like they were very good, not stop. Even though she didn't chop his jokes, but everything else was fine. So it's Nisha, Reb Nosson and his wife also, I was told, she didn't chop. He was also funny, Reb Nosson Bachler. He was funny like anything. He used to crack jokes all day. And his Rebbetzin used to look at him like, yeah, what was that? Yeah. Some people just don't chop. Anyway, so you have to live with it. He has to go and frustrate him, trying to crack a joke. But my father used to sing Eshes Chayil. And when he got to V'atolis al kulono, that's the way he used to do it. Now, Rabbis Banos asu Chayil, V'atolis al kulono. Many women did great things, but you are better than all of them. My father used to say that, knocking. My mother used to sit there, kvelling. And he knew how to do it. That part he pitched up. He said, oh, listen, Ganeden. Now, I want to say a little shot of that. First, I want to encourage everybody to do the same for their wives, especially the guys that feel it's not really true in their case. Those guys scream loudest. When wrong, said Rabbi, scream loudest. So those that feel the other way, how did I fall into this? And she's thinking, how did I fall into him? Those types. Scream loud about Dolis. Work on your mitos. Make believe. What do you care? I tell a lot of stuff to my wife. I really get carried away with my wife. I tell her, you really believe me? I says, whenever I don't look good, I look all stressed out, walking in the street like this. You know where that's coming from? No. I says, I'm trying to figure out how I was zeicher to marry you. So I tell those to my wife all the time. And I tell her other stuff. How can I live with it? I have all kind of stuff. Like, I make my wife like, she's not shy. And, I asked her, do you believe this stuff that I say about you? Like, how can I live? Yeah, every minute I have you, it's Gan Eden. You know, I'm full of that stuff. Full of baloney. I'm joking. And not baloney, I mean. Anyway, so she says, it's fine. Keep doing it. You mean it, you don't mean it. It's fine. It's good. You mean it halfway. Listen, there's truth over there. You're allowed to like your wife. You have to daven. Daven! You don't like your wife? Daven! What's the matter with you? And if she's a pill, and she's a machshefa, then you should thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for this machshefa. Rabbis Banos Yasu Chayil, I've seen many witches in my life. You know how to put a guy in his place better than anybody. I love this. I will never see Gehenna thanks to you, my dear wife. The Rav Chatzkel said, if someone's mavaza you should kiss every aver. But because, Bejanus will do for you in the next room. So you have a, on the spot, you don't have to go far for Bejanus. A built-in system where you get Bejanus or any time. Your wife does the job gladly. She's always mavazi you in front of your shviga, in front of. That's a great deal. You'll never see again. Your wife's giving you mizeh. So if you have that case, thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By the way, I don't want to say anything. Could be you might be a little guilty. No, chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom. It's her fault. No, I'm never sovel, and I never fell in. I'm really a good guy, and I never. Listen, everybody has a different prescription. How do you got to deal? Some people have to. You got to tell them you're talking never sovel, and you're going to get a big elam haba because you fell in with this witch, and you're quiet. You don't get angry. Some people, that's great. Stay like that. Some people, I tell them, why is she doing that? Maybe, no, maybe you can straighten out a little bit. Maybe, you know how many people tell me about their wives, how terrible their wives are? They're all over the place. And I always agree with them. I know it's good for me. Yes, never. Such a machshefa. But then I'm just curious. I would like to speak to her. What do you say about him? Oh, an eye-opener. I didn't know there's another side to the story. But you have to behave yourself. Yes, you are right. I told you I used to be a marriage counselor. I used to speak on the telephone. The husband used to call me for half an hour and tell me his wife is terrible. And I'd say, you are right. Then the wife would call me up a half hour later and tell me how terrible he is. And I would say, you are right. So someone who noticed what I was doing say, Mendel, make up your mind. You're also right. You got to agree with everybody. As I get this. L'chaim Taimim. Every bracha works. David is so good. Can't thank him enough. I thank Hashem for the cover that I get. Yes, I do. I don't know about you guys. I thank Hashem for the cover. I thank them. I promise you. I was sitting there Friday night with the Modia looking at I picked up a few copies. I want to chazam, and I took a look. Look what you did for me, Eibishter. I really appreciate all that. That's what I did. I really appreciate all the cover that you gave me. See that? Now the Chovos HaLevavos says when you get covered, you have to be afraid. Now I just lost all my. If the Chovos HaLevavos would see us, he would say, Mandel, don't. That part's not for you. I'm serious. He would say it. So that's a different. Rabbi Miller says that the Gemara in Avodah Zarah says when you get covered, when a shegitz a Jew would do business with a shegitz, the shegitz would be very, very happy that you did business with him, and he would go to his God, to his church, and thank the church for the cover that he had Jew to. So he said, a shegitz do, we could do that too. Rabbi Miller says this. Thank you, Kodesh Baruch Hu, for all the cover that you're getting. So that's what I do. I don't like skeptics. They said, someone else also had article, didn't do anything for him. I heard someone said that. I says, by me? I'm waiting for the millions. They're coming. No question. This is going to bring in money. You got to bring in everything. No question. Beshita. Positive. You have to find in every situation, what's the positive way to go? Tried it. Now, the Meraglim, they had a choice. They saw everybody burying everybody over there, right? In Eretz Yisrael. So they took it like, Eretz Acheles Yeshveo! It's a terrible country! And Kaliv and Yeshua said, this is a great place. Because, the Eibishter wants to distract them from us, which was the true reason. They saw the positive side, so they took over the world. Kaliv and Yeshua, they got it all. The Meraglim in the garbage. Come on. Lost their Elam Abba. You can't be negative. Every situation, you have a choice. How are you going to look at it? Positive or negative? And watch out for the Froma Yetzara. Positive! I'm good! You have to come out, I'm the good guy. You have a million situations. And everything goes on in your life. You're the only guy. Here. This guy's talking. This happens to me plenty. I get, my own kind of business. This guy's giving a whole drasha, and there's 5 guys staying there, and he keeps looking at this guy, and me, he doesn't even look at me. And how do you deal with this? We all have this type of stuff. Why isn't he looking? I do it to people talking. I once got a letter from the kids in my class. I had a wide classroom like this, way back, and the kids wrote me a letter. Rebbe, please look in our direction. Because it's hard for me to, So I was facing those guys and I was ignoring those guys, and they didn't like it. They wrote me a letter. I said, I apologize, I didn't mean it. Now the guy isn't looking at me, and I feel like, why doesn't he like me, this guy? What? No, the fourth grade, yeah. So, but I'm just saying, when I speak to adults, sometimes that the guy doesn't want to talk to me. He's talked to everyone else except for me. How do you do with that? What are you going to do? So, you have a lot of bases. You could either say, you know what I do? I found, I'm going to tell you something very interesting. I used to walk in the street, and I had people coming over to me left and right. As soon as I got on this thing, and now I'm all over the place. I walk in the street, no one knows me. I walk in the shul, no one says good Shabbos to me. I'm like a stranger. What happened? So I know what happened. The Abish just told me, Mendel, hast genik COVID. You got enough? You need that too? I can't. And get some Mizyanis, it'll balance the whole matzah. That's the way I take it. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that the Eibishter holds up very chashuv, and I don't need covet. I'm above all this stuff. Thank you for not looking in my direction. It shows the Eibishter is showing me what a great guy I am. I don't need covet so much. I think I went a full hour, and I served it's time to say, I'd kind of give a brach, everybody, and just give a brach again. Based. The next time you see a red light, this is great practice for patience. I need more red lights. You're going to run it. You're going to wish you had more red lights. Because it's savlanis. Every inch of your life is an opportunity. That's savlanis. Or if you yelled at me, work on cars. Delicious. I need that. Or everything that goes on, you can work on your midas. It's such a pleasure. If it's a hum, you sure, Gedayla, Shidduchim, Bekar Mamish. Somebody's